innovations in universities. So without much ado, I will straight away go and invite Naresh Duble, who is DGM Training and FMD from Armstrong. Naresh, welcome to the stage. You may begin, please.
Good morning, everybody. I really thank you for the gift of your time and attention. Next 15 minutes, I'm going to speak about very common sense topic like universities are for students, and we all will agree that common sense is most uncommonly used in most of the business scenarios. We all teach acoustics, we all know about importance of sound, but we will dwell upon how it really impact and how we can actually enhance the quality of higher education in Indian scenario. I represent Armstrong. Armstrong World Industries is 154-year-old company, globally present, a leader into acoustical ceiling solutions in various segments. We partner in developed countries with education institutes, universities for acoustics. In India, this is a new initiative which we started. I head this initiative for Indian operation, and I'm really happy to be with you today morning. So in our education system, we all agree that it's not sufficient just to listen to a teacher in a class, but students need to understand, assimilate, and reproduce the knowledge they get in the class. So you can have a brilliant teacher teaching, and you can have a great student sitting across, but if they can't connect in the given space, the education doesn't happen. You know? So that's the theme of the education, and that's possible only when you provide proper acoustical environment, when you provide proper architecture, proper building for learning place to happen. So architecture is important and treatment is important to get correct environment in which learning can happen. And once we have that, we need to protect that from a mechanical noise. We need to protect that space from noise within the space, which is maybe a air-conditioned noise, the fan noise, or a city noise. So that's in a nutshell what the acoustics is. This is a snapshot of current scenario in Indian education system. We are doing studies across, and we can do audit into your universities also in terms of what is the background noise, what's the reverberation time. And the scenario is not at all near to any global standard which we have for education systems. You know, background noise in a school education, K-12 education is very high. In higher education, the background noise is not high where the campuses exist, but what we have is a large room and echoing room. That's the reverberation time is more than 0.5 seconds. It goes up to 1.5 seconds also. And we'll see what's the impact of that. There is an impact, and a very high impact on students and on teacher equally. But we'll see what happened with respect to students. Now students who are learning a new concept, a new language, if the environment is not acoustically good, they tend to miss those words. And they are not effective listeners. So it's like Tare Zameen Par. They have 1,000 things happening in their head. If they can't engage with your professor, they don't learn. And that's where the entire education system is hostage. We have the toppers in K-12 education sitting in the first 2 or 3 benches, and the backbenchers are really backbenchers because essentially they don't get half the words spoken in that space. Another important group in education system is introverts and people who have hearing impairments. The introverts can't work in a noisy or fuzzy environment. They tend to get disengaged quickly. Their efficiency drops. That's how we have so many brilliant students getting into IITs and IIMs, and they're really not shining. And we have cases of students committing suicides also in higher education because they couldn't cope up with the stress and the pressure which happened into the campus. And most of this is connected with what happened inside the classroom. So, and couple of months in a year they have hearing problem because of ENT infection. That time if you have improper acoustical environment, they can't understand what's happening in the classroom. And the other thing is English second language, which is extremely significant when it goes to higher education because the technical words, the medical words, or the new lingo which is not in their dictionary, if the atmosphere is not conducive, you don't have a clarity of the sound, they don't understand what is happening in the class. And then they say teacher is bad or subject is difficult. In either case, we are keeping the learning hostage of what environment we are putting them in for learning. This is a study done by Acoustic Society for Education which talks about if you know the subject And articulation index is objective measure of the clarity of the sound in the given space. If it is 0.8, the person who knows the subject gets 100%, but the young one, they miss 10%. And what we work in our education system is around 0.4 to 0.6 index, where they miss 30 to 40% of the words. And we can actually explain this, and we can do an audit in your university to actually understand how it is, what is the scenario you have, because what you measure get improved. So we can actually measure that and work around to improve the situation in the classroom. This is a case study I want to share with you. A school which is 50-year-old school, very successful school, but the surfaces are very hard, like we have in our education system, hard ceiling, hard walls, and hard floors. The reverberation time, which is a time required for sound to die by 60 decibel, is 1.3 seconds. Now, our hearing instrument is a very nice instrument which can distinguish a sound when it comes back to it after 0.5 seconds. So what happens if you have reverberation in your place more than 0.5 seconds, your students or a teacher hear their own voice twice. First when they speak, and second time when it reverberates. So this place it is 1.3 seconds, which we got it down to 0.6 seconds by doing some acoustical treatment. And the video of 1 minute is a feedback of a teacher, how she felt in the same space teaching to the same group.
Which is loud because I'm hearing a lot of extraneous sounds, pencils, paper, windows, and I did not hear that today. It was great. I was just hearing their voices, and I also noticed that I could hear them better. They were talking softly today. I could hear them better. Usually I get some hesitation after I ask a question, and I find myself repeating the question, or did everyone hear the question? I get a lot of no's. Today I found that I was able to do more teaching in the same amount of time. I felt like I was closer to my children today, and they were closer to me, instead of always reaching and straining. Overall, the kids seemed more interested, and I think it's because they didn't have to focus on me telling them that I can't hear you, or their classmates telling them they couldn't hear them. And then I think it just was less of a distraction.
We all, teach in the classrooms. When we know the students are connected with us, it draws the best in the teacher. And that's what exactly she is saying. She could connect well with the teacher and well with the students and cover up a lot of subject with a velocity. And so in current education system, we have quality of the teacher, and we work very hard with teachers to improve their quality. But if we can connect the existing quality of the teacher with the student which we have, 100% of the time with 100% of the students, I'm very sure the results will improve dramatically with the current set of quality which we have. This is ASHRAE journal which talks about sustainability. Yes, when we construct a building or when we run a building, the green is a buzzword. We want to have a sustainable and efficient and cost-effective buildings. At the same time, we got to be completely mindful about are these buildings are healthy and productive for the people who are occupying the space. I mean, you and me spend more time, more productive awake time in the places where we work. Now, if those places are not conducive for healthy output, the entire expenditure of putting up a building and running that institute is ineffective to that extent. Do you agree with me on that? So we need to pay attention to the construction and the quality of the spaces where the entire activity is happening, which is the classroom. So acoustical comfort is a new term which is getting added into green buildings, which means essentially 4 elements. Means intelligibility of the sound, you understand what I'm saying and I understand what you are saying in the space. Privacy of the sound, low distraction annoyance, and concentration. So various zone in an educational building has a different requirement with respect to acoustical comfort. The classroom has acoustical comfort when there is intelligibility, there is a clarity of the sound, and there is no outside noise, there is a concentration, no outside noise coming in. But for the library, you require more concentration than anything else. For lobby and passages, which is a critical area into passage area, where if somebody goes and speak in that area, it distracts all the classroom. So you require to have absorption up there happening in that place. So we need to select material differently. How can we have the same material on the floor and the wall and the ceiling and expect to get a different degrees of acoustical comfort in our premises? which is completely absurd, and that's how we are running our facilities currently. So what we are interested in the direct sound from teacher to the students. We are okay with early reflection, so the hard surface behind teacher is good. What we don't want is a late reflection and echo. Now late reflection and echo happens when the sound gets reflected after 15 feet or 18 feet, and typically in higher education the classroom size is more than 12 to 20 feet, and there you have echo, and that can only be controlled by size of the room, shape of the room, and a surface treatment, and that's physics. So this is a case study. Let's say in this particular case the teacher is speaking at 66 decibel and the sound in the last row is 48 decibel, and the background noise in an institute is 55 decibel. Nowadays we have a lot of apps on Android, on iOS, which you can measure the background noise in your premises. Now the beauty is the last row is at -7 decibel, arithmetic out there. Now 10 decibel is half loud, it's acoustics, it's sound. So last row is hardly getting any word spoken in those space. Now in the same scenario, in the same class, if we change the orientation to the other one, the last row is at 54 decibel, which is -1 decibel. And this is the best way we can have the classes organized in terms of transmitting sound there. Now background noise and sound is extremely important to understand. If, like when we speak in the air, if there is no enhancer, the sound dies 6 dB every 2 meter it travels. So when it travels the first 2 meter it's died by 6 dB, the next 2 meter it dies by 12 dB, and next 2 meter dies by 18 dB. So you and me can shout only at 80 dB. We cannot go beyond 80 dB. 110, 20 dB is a blast. So right now if I don't speak with the enhancer, it will be 60, 65, 75 dB kind of sound. So what happened in the class, teacher speaks at 65, 70 dB, if the background noise is high, it goes up to first 4 rows, and after that it gets disadvantage. But second important thing happened, which is most important to understand with high background noise, that teachers speak at high pitch. Now I can say I love you in 10 different ways, and each I love you has a different meaning the way I say it. Now that's precisely why in Indian education system we are producing more IITs and engineers and doctors, and the language skills of the people entering into higher education is low because they don't learn it in the junior education, in K-12 education. So teacher doesn't have choice of voice modulation. Language is not words, it's expression, which is at hostage when you don't have proper acoustical environment. Even we have the most modern AV running into the space, but if that is not getting connected and that freedom doesn't exist, education doesn't happen. So global standard is 0.6 second in education spaces in US. The European standard is 0.4 second of reverberation time. And just to give an example, 2 seconds sound like this. Noise, sound.
This is a demonstration of room reverberation in architectural space.
Now the same noise or same sound in the same room, but which is treated for sound absorption, sound like this.
This is a demonstration of room reverberation in an architectural space.
Now, it is a property of the space which you work in. It doesn't matter how loud you listen or how hard you listen. In fact, if you add an enhancer in an inappropriate room, it is like putting more powder on a carom board and putting a striker with a lot of force, expecting to get results. Doesn't happen. It actually kills the clarity of the sound in the space and distract the classroom which is happening next, which is everyday's experience we have in our working. So the only solution is to absorb the sound in that space, and that is possible by the most economically possible by putting some absorbing material on the ceiling, which is like Armstrong product which can go into the acoustical ceiling. If the room is big enough like this, we require some treatment on the wall to, which is like shown into upper picture out here. And if it is a large hall, then we need to have some suspended elements which break the sound path. And the last option is to treat carpet because it's the most difficult part to maintain, doesn't give very high acoustics. But what we need to do is we need to have that space ready to listen with minimum reverberation time. Lesser the better for speech clarity. When you design auditorium or a music place, you require one kind of RT because you need an envelope around you. But in speech, you need a clarity. You don't need any echo in that space to have communication. So once we achieve that, we need to protect that space by having windows in the right direction. We don't want windows in a traffic directions or where you have outdoor air tube in place, stuff like that. So we got to be mindful where we keep the noise producing instrument so that lowers the background noise. We also get protection from the movement above the building by having the ceiling in place. We get an impact isolation class. We got to be very clear what the STC we have for walls when we design our buildings. So global standard for background noise is 35 decibel. LEED is 40 decibel, which is easily possible into campuses and higher education. City colleges and universities have these problems of high background noise because of city noise, but campuses is blessed with low background noise. What we need to take care of is the reverberation time in the space. So this is the small brief about Armstrong. We are a global company and we are ready to partner with you. Me and my team is here. We can meet you. We can actually come and do audit at your place to tell you where you are with respect to these global parameters on sound, both reverberation and background noise. And then we can do a sample treatment into one of the rooms, and you can take the feedback of a teacher and the students, what is the difference they get in the same material which you provide to them. So we provide the products which are hygiene and green, and we have a founder member 60 years back for LEED movement on the earth. This is an example of IISER Pune. We worked very closely with architect out here, and they use product appropriately for the spaces. They selected right material for right space, as I discussed before, and this is one of the class facility which we have in Pune. And there are many more institutes. We are working with IITs, IIM, NITs, where we started changing their existing places and working with them with the new spaces to design as per the global standard for acoustics. And there are solutions like this which are present. As I said, the passage area, which is the most important area and most neglected area, which create the noise and disturbance into learning places. So you enhance the light reflectivity in the place by having this material. You enhance the safety in terms of fire for the building. You get a fire class, 1 hour of fire rating by putting this system. These are auxiliary benefit. What I mean is most important benefit is acoustics. You can have design element like this, so the place looks quite apt for the learning. The library need to be treated differently than the cafeteria, so we have solutions like this. We have some color solutions coming in which you can add design and color element into it. So lobby and a passage, that is the face of an institute, can be decorated appropriately using the variety of the product which we have. And we have a presence across India where my team present in 26 locations, so can actually come and meet with your designers and construction people to select and recommend right product for right application. So what we say is, with Armstrong, the innovation is possible when you really provide the space which is conducive for people to work in this particular zone. We have some solutions for walls. We have wall panels which can use in auditorium. We have fabric wall panels. We have wooden wall panels which looks aesthetically good and functionally apt. So that's our theme, idea to reality. So success and leadership is all about being better than your previous self, and small improvement can give us stunning results over the time. Thank you so much. Thanks for your patient listening.